Episode 37. I just rear-ended a bitch on my way over here.
And I just got my windshield cracked.
Let's go.
That's actually true. Literally, after I got the phone with you, a rock. I was pissed. Little crack. Little indent.
Were you behind one of those, like a rock
Semi?
truck?
No. It just got ricocheted from someone's tire. It's like a damn asteroid.
Well, real quick. I was on my way here, and I thought I saw an ex-flame, an ex-lover in a parking lot.
You're like, what?
So Zach coined the term. I goosenecked. He didn't coin that term, but he said it.
I wish.
Next thing I know, I think we've all had this feeling at one point or another. You see the car, you hit the brakes. I might have hit the gas. I don't think I did, though. It was so
you did a grandma on it?
It was so quick.
Crashed into a dollar store.
They were making a right-hand turn off of a very busy road, and it's that split second where I saw them, and I'm like, oh, I'm hitting them. I'm going to.
Oh, I hate that feeling. It's the worst.
I've only had that a few other times. Once on I-4, where that happens a lot.
Death Highway.
And I just scream, oh, fuck. And turns out they were pulling into their little place of business, this construction office. And when I open my door, I just hear 5 or 6 kids get out of this beautiful truck and just go running all over. And I'm hearing... And I'm thinking, you are fucked, sir. You just caused some damage.
All the kids look at you. Who do you think you are?
They were looking at me like I was a shithead at first, which I can understand. And one of them was like, my mom just got out of surgery. And I'm like, okay, this is really bad. Her neck's going to be all...
Bent neck lady.
Bent neck lady. And within 2 minutes, she was calm and talking to me, kind of just... not buzzing around the parking lot, but walking around. But what makes me worried, and we settled it. Maybe insurance, maybe not. I don't know. It's one of those situations. But what makes me worried is like every 5 minutes, she'd be walking around. Ooh.
Oh, God. Was she really doing that?
I swear. But she claimed to have had a whole bunch of, I don't want to disparage the poor woman because I was the one who hit her. But she claimed to have a bunch of surgeries not that long ago. I don't know what to believe.
So the kids said I was under the assumption like, we just left and picked her up.
Right. But she was the one driving. And when I say she had a freak out, it was real.
God, that's cringe.
It was Karen-esque.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I can picture is a complete Karen moment at this point.
I don't want to... I feel weird talking publicly and disparaging the lady. I was the one who did it. I was at fault. My parents always say, never say you're at fault. But I'm like, dude, it was clearly me. What am I going to...
Well, in Florida, if you rear-end anyone, it's always your fault.
Yeah, every accident I've been to has been me rear-ending somebody. I got rear-ended once, and then I was high as fuck on OxyContin. I was just like, dude, you're good. Get out of here, kid.
Next morning, you're like, damn, my car's fucked up.
It was several $100s worth of damage. And, of course,
you're good.
No one believes druggy me that I actually got hit. All that to say, I had like this huge spike of adrenaline, and I'm kind of coming back down. Someone told me since we revamped the podcast, both you and I's energy is up.
Hell yeah.
Which I like. But I'm feeling a little based.
I mean, our energy, maybe, it's found a place and it's hanging out there now. I'm sure it's still coming off that way.
Allow me to get your blood boiling. Let me know. Please. You've got the headphones. I think you should be able to hear this. Great camera work, White House. Let me say that first off.
Is this one of his fake sets?
Send a direct message to the American people. Due to the steps we've taken, Omicron has not yet spread as fast as it would have otherwise done.
Oh, shut the fuck
and that's happening in Europe. But it's here now, and it's spreading, and it's going to increase. For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated, for themselves, their families, and the hospitals they'll soon overwhelm. But there's good news. If you're vaccinated and you have your booster shot, you're protected from severe illness and death, period. Number 2, booster shots work. 3, boosters
No, I mean, I just took a number 2.
are free, safe, and convenient. About 60 million people have been boosted. So go get your shot today. Go get boosted if you had your first 2 shots. If you haven't, go get your first shot. It's time. It's time. It's past time.
Did Corn Pop get
And
his?
we're going to protect our economic recovery if we do this. We're going to keep schools and businesses open if we do this. And I want to see everyone around enjoy that. I want to see them enjoy the fact that they're able to be in school, the businesses are open, and the holidays are coming. But the whole point is, Omicron is here. It's going to start to spread much more rapidly at the beginning of the year. And the only real protection is to get your shots. If you get 1 shot,
The
you haven't gotten it
only
yet,
real
it'll help.
protection.
If you're at the point where you have everything, including your booster, you're in really good shape. So move now. Move now.
Shut
Thank
up.
you all very much.
The only real protection, you know, it's funny. I just saw
Then
someone.
take that fucking thing off your face, Joe.
I know. And you know what? That doctor who always pops up on CNN, she's the Asian lady, Dr. Luen
Chung.
Wen. It's W-E-N.
Oh, win.
She makes my blood boil too. She just said that the cloth masks are, this is coming from CNN, are no good. They're just facial decorations. And she said, all you need a 2-ply surgical mask or an N95. So she just admitted that the cloth masks don't work, so that's pointless what he's wearing. But talk about coming out the gates with some fear porn. If you're unvaccinated, you're looking at
Severe winter of death.
and illness, and it's, you know what this reminds me of? Shepard Smith throwback with the hurricane. Dude, that's what it reminds me of, where he goes, and your kids will die too.
I didn't believe you when you told me that. That's one of our funniest clips.
Dude, that was so funny. That's what this is reminding me of, except he's way less funny and he's just stupid. He's out there promoting and saying some outlandish garbage. And you know what's funny? If this is like a tactic to make us like feel scared, I don't know what world they live in, because at this point, it's not even vaccine hesitancy. It's just a no. There's no hesitancy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, for these people, you know? So I don't understand this tactic at all. Like, you know, it's going to be death and everyone's going to die for you unvaccinated folks. But if you've been vaccinated, you did your part. You're great. Get your booster.
Did you notice his total change of tone?
Oh, immediately.
For somebody who's out of it, he's still a cunning fucking politician bastard.
Oh, yeah, he's a conniving little shit.
There's probably, he's been training that muscle, his politician muscle, his bullshit muscle, AKA, for 72 years. How long has he been in politics? 50 something.
Yeah, before I was alive.
Yeah, before most of the people watching this were fucking alive. And if anyone has old memories of Joe Biden, typically they're racist, not good, or of him just plagiarizing countless speeches.
I know. Plagiarizing. I remember watching a video someone compiled of all these clips of people on the news literally saying, like, is this a career ender for him? Getting caught plagiarizing a speech.
I hear that, and to me, I know a president, him aside right now, a president shouldn't bullshit society. If there was a real thing going on, I would want somebody in charge to be like, hey, y'all, I know I'm supposed to comfort the people.
But I'm really serious.
Right.
When I say this.
There's just no ounce of comfort in that statement. That's just what you said. Direct fucking fear-mongering, which there needs to be some sort of law against that for people in power to, because that has tremendous influence, what he just said. People are really taking heed to that and really freaking out. A lot of them, like you said, there's no hesitancy. It's either no or more.
At this point, I mean, like, the people who wanted to get it got it. But the problem also is there's no evidence to even back up what he's saying. The evidence is clear that the symptoms are more mild for the Omicron from the CDC.
You're getting like me. I say
And
Omicron.
Omicron.
You want to say it wrong on purpose?
Yeah, let's just say Omicron. And plus the science from Africa, where it originated from, South Africa, they're already saying that it's on the wane. Like, it was a quick spike and it's already coming down. And another thing people got to realize too, who gives a shit about cases? Let's focus on hospitalizations and death if it's that bad. I'm not hearing shit about that.
I think I just listened to something, it was a couple days old, but they had claimed on that Slightly Offensive, 1 death worldwide as of 5 days ago. And that's, again, I'll put something on the screen to verify that. But
well, it's a shame too, because this mouthpiece for all this propaganda is trickling down. Universal's reinstating their indoor mask policy. And I don't know if it's true. You might know this because you're more into sports than I am. I saw a tweet talking about no college playoff game should be canceled. I don't know if there's buzz about that happening or something.
The tweet was saying, please do not cancel the games.
I'll pull it up for you right now.
Okay.
Well, fuck.
If you can find it.
If I can find it.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because we're getting into the college bowl season and shit. March.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And people like this, that would be ridiculous if they did that.
Well, I always go to the players.
I found it.
Okay.
Under no circumstances, by Clay Travis. Under no circumstances should any college football playoff game be canceled for COVID, period. The new CFP guidelines are embarrassing. College kids have zero danger. They should all be able to play, positive or not. I don't know. So whatever guidelines he's talking about, but they must have been updated since this whole Omicron.
Dude, there's already been obviously canceled sports events and stuff, and where my heart goes to, it seems like, oh, who cares? But having been a former athlete at any capacity, the seniors, especially who have been with that team the whole time, maybe they know they're not going to the NFL. This last bowl game,
this is it for them.
It's their chance to go out on their sword, give it their all, and they're going to get robbed because of some government bullshit.
And bottom line, 2 years into this, as the virus is mutating and getting weaker, clearly, based on the, like, what are we doing? Like, how long are we going to go round and round with this shit?
It's getting boring.
Yeah, because people like you and me, we're moving on with life, everyone in Florida. This is still in the news, so it's something we're talking about the ridiculous shit they're pulling elsewhere in the country.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, are we going to move on to something else, or is this going to be the dominating force for all eternity or for the foreseeable future as long as we're going to be alive? Because I'm so over it, and you know what people are going to say? They're going to be thinking like, well, you're over it. Say that to someone who lost their grandma. That's like literally the line that keeps coming. And you know what I have to say? People die, and people will continue to die. We will die. It could be by anything. Like, you can choose to live in a bubble, in a vessel, and never experience life again. Fauci's. I literally just watched a clip of him, the news just feeds right in. They have him on and they go, so if a family has a family member who's unvaccinated, should they come for the holidays? They're just handing him the fear mongering door open to just say, and he goes, no, if they're unvaccinated, I really think they should tell them, not this year. And I'm like, who in their right mind's doing that?
Nobody. Well, obviously.
Some people. Because they're like, Aunt Susie, you're not vaccinated. You can't come.
And then they'll
can't come this year.
Get all self-aggrandizing on their Facebook. It was a tough decision, but public health is important. We chose for Aunt Susie, and they tag Aunt Susie like a fucking asshole,
I know,
to not show up this year.
Because she chooses not to get the jab, and we choose safety. We want to have safe holidays.
I love my family.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that your jab doesn't work?
Wait, what?
That's what I would say to them. I'm like... So then what's the point if you can just get it? Like, what is this?
We made this kind of jokingly in episode 36, talking about how many boosters, and someone's just like, I'm willing to get 64 boosters. Being woke And really all this is people taking their hatred for Donald Trump, who...
Oh, for sure. That's why the mask is the MAGA hat for them.
Whoa.
Someone tweeted that. I can't take credit. I saw that, and I was like, that's exactly what it is.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
This is just, what did they call it? Trump derangement syndrome transferred. And it's like an addiction. Being woke and all this vaccine stuff is like an addiction. Now, somebody who has gone through addiction personally and still will always struggle with it, they tell you, obviously, you have to hit your bottom in order to change. Because I look at these people who are just so vax happy and just living in the bubble you were talking about. What can I do? What could I do? What could happen to change that person's mind? And what they'd say in things like AA or when I was in rehab, it takes a massive personal traumatic event. Personal, something that happens to you. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe they had, I was racking my brain of like, okay, so what could that be? Maybe a really bad reaction to one of the jabs. And then they wake up like, yo, this is bullshit. Or
they get the jab and they encounter a situation in society where it's not enough or something. Or no, it's happening for people who I think got the two. Who got confronted with the booster. And they're like, you need to get the booster. There's certain states that are requiring. They're like, hold on. You know, that might be that moment for them.
Yeah. And just like in regular addiction, everybody's bottom is different.
It's different, right.
But we're seeing cases of people who have kept up with every single jab, boost, prick, prod, and they're still catching the vid. And they're giving it to people. What? Fucking BuzzFeed.
Yeah, the BuzzFeed party.
Yeah. That was, everybody was boosted.
And they had to be to go.
Correct.
Or they had to be fully vax status.
Fully vaccinated, but I think in this case, the people who actually caught it and then passed it on to people were all boosted up to standard.
Boosted, baby.
If you look at that and you don't see something wrong with it and see, okay, so a boosted person caught it and gave it to another boosted person, why would I get boosted?
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up, just get boosted anyways.
That's the perfect real world example of the complete flaw in their argument of trying to force us to get it. Because when you rationalize it, you take that event and you go, okay, this was a completely boosted event.
Vax passes and all.
Vax passes and all. They had to prove it. That means someone still caught it and brought it in. So what they'll say is, well, it reduces your chances of severe hospitalization. Okay. But that's not necessarily true either, because some people who are fully vaxxed have had to go to the hospital with it too. So that's not even entirely true.
I wonder, has there been any fully vaccinated people who passed away from COVID-19?
The vid? Probably.
I'd say statistically there's had to have been.
I mean, there's 300 million people. There has to be a few. And
are we officially at more vaccinated than not now?
I think there's more people in the country who have had at least one jab or something than not at this point. I think there's less. Now, globally, I think 47% of the world has gotten it. So almost half.
Everything I'm pulling up, this is something from USA Today, and I'm just reading headlines.
Yeah, and they're trash too. So.
Well, I'll just read what it says.
Yeah.
A New Zealand man, 26, died of myocarditis, a rare side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Oh, yeah, myocarditis, yep. That's that condition.
Breakthrough from ABC.
That's another thing, too, breakthrough. When are we going to stop calling it breakthrough cases? It just seems to me that you just can get it still when you get it. Like, they keep saying it breaks through. What is it breaking through?
WebMD, New Zealand man. New Zealand says man's death may be linked to the Pfizer vaccine. The problem is I go on here and I don't know what to trust anymore. I don't know what publications. I don't know who's been bought and sold. I used to rely on Snopes.
I know.
I went on Snopes just this morning for something we'll talk about here in a little bit for the Jesse Waters, Anthony Fauci. That's how we pronounce it here. Little spat they had. He should be fired. Fuck you. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, dude.
And Snopes is just riddled with fucking ads. They're hurting. Just like when Wikipedia, Wikipedia is hurting when you go on
As
there.
soon as you go in the big boxes of
You
like,
gotta
please save us.
Scroll through 10 minutes of you can donate 1 cent.
I
You can
know.
donate 2 cents.
And it's like, why would I donate to a site that is supposed to be an encyclopedia of knowledge that can get changed constantly
Yeah, it's really, and even though
by people, like contributors or whatever?
yeah, like my brother,
It's like the IMDb of knowledge.
I would go on IMDb and look up these trivia facts.
Yeah.
And there was one that I'm like, there's no way. And I looked it up and it was like totally false. And it had like 1,000 upvotes. I'm like, and it's on their official trivia page. So,
That's what I mean. Like, I don't trust those sites.
but then what I get in this existential crisis of what do I trust? And when I was in my depression and had just tremendous bouts of paranoia going on, I think you remember a lot of that. That really got to me on a point where I was like ready to just check out. Like, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the seeds sown of dissension and confusion that the powers that be are throwing into the mix, they were really taking a mental toll on me, and I think they still definitely are. You've talked about you had your time where
Wallowing in despair.
yeah, and I remember you talked to me about compartmentalizing it, and I don't want to get too far off the COVID trend, but
Yeah,
this,
but I think
this
that's
all
important.
applies.
Right. I think that's important because when it all first went down, I mean, I think everyone in the beginning was like, what are we dealing with here? But no, and at a certain point, it was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is crazy. But we're very lucky to live where we live, and we got instilled with normalcy again. So we're kind of like on the other side of it, kind of just sitting and watching the rest of the country, deal with it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think a big part of it, I feel like if we lived in New York City or something, or Southern California, like if we would have moved, because we probably have mentioned it before, but right before all this shit went down, we were considering relocating to like the Los Angeles, Southern California area just to be in the middle of everything. And damn, we dodged a bullet. And I feel like if we would have done that, we would have been way more fucked up mentally dealing with all of this.
2020 was going to be your year, especially of picking up and going elsewhere. I remember I had separated with my ex-wife November 2019, and that was kind of like a hallmark for us where I felt, okay, I feel free, I feel motivated to do something. Yeah, as soon or as close as November 2019, you were actively making plans to go.
Fate had other plans.
Thank God.
I know, that's
and
what
now,
I said.
Now I never want to leave fucking Florida.
No. I mean, you see, Dave Rubin moved.
I did.
Yeah, he's here. I mean, a lot of people are getting out more than going in. So that's the only clue I need to realize that quality of life will remain better here.
And it's not just the South. I kind of thought, okay, the South typically skews conservative, or has in times past, but I forget which counties. Several counties in Georgia and obviously California and New York, kids are already back before their Christmas break to doing virtual school. And I fear...
Yeah, Georgia's compromised, man. Georgia is not the place that it once was. And I honestly think a big part of it is the Hollywood infiltration into Atlanta. A lot of different things, because Georgia's a different place than it once was.
I guess because it's our neighbor, Florida-Georgia line, it's just...
Fuck Georgia.
Fuck Georgia, honestly. And my main fear now, not for kids here, but for kids everywhere else who my heart goes out to, because I had such a great school experience. I can't imagine this. They're going to go home for Christmas break. They just got back. A lot of the kids just got back into the classroom. I fear they're going to say, you know what? Let's push it a week. One more week of Christmas break. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's all. Okay. 2 more weeks. Let's make it a solid month. You know what? We can't have you kids go back anymore.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And kids are fiending to go back to school.
They need to for their development. I mean, the damage that has been, that has happened over this past 2 years on these kids is irreversible.
A whole generation of homeschool kids.
Oh yeah, not interacting with kids and being locked in their home. Like, this is bad. Like, it does I was talking to one of the parents I was on, a tour with at Disney, and she was saying too, she runs a school and stuff, and she said that the anxiety levels are up like 300, 400, 500%. Suicidal tendencies are up. Everything is up with these kids, and not being able to see each other's faces. Like I'm sorry, I cannot even begin to understand justification for any of these measures anymore at this point with these people. That's
the irreparable damage they're doing on the next generation's psyche is inhumane.
I think it's evil.
It is evil.
Yeah, because how they're going to turn out, they're going to be a very crippled generation of kids or of adults when they're out of their adolescence and everything. They're going to have horrible habits and tendencies, and they're going to be killing themselves, getting into crime, getting into drug use, all sorts of stuff. But they'll be subservient to the state in the end.
Oh, you're going to see a spike in something that hits home for me is drug use. When you're trapped at home and that is your domain and just boredom reigns over your life.
And parents have to work, or they can't just be home for 2 years doing this because the government makes it to where both parents have to work. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be pretty. And I don't see a scenario now unless everything just stopped and we went back to what we all know is normal.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't see a situation. There's already irreversible damage.
Yeah.
Imagine being a kid and your formative years are this.
Oh, I mean,
because the most important age for a kid, correct me if I'm wrong, is those early, 0 to 7 type of years. That's where you get all your sensibilities.
All your social skills start developing, facial recognition, of seeing expression on other kids. That's covered.
Yeah, it's something like 70% of our communication is nonverbal with the mouth.
I know. And ironically enough, they're still pushing these stupid masks 2.5 years later, or 2 years later. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
2.5 years,
no,
Zach.
2 years.
2 years. It's going to be 2.5.
20. Oh, yeah, you're right. We're over 2. Wait. 2020, 2021.
Years.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years.
2 years we've been dealing with this. When it feels sometimes like yesterday, where we were doing Zoom episodes, and then that also feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah, which, by the way, clearly that didn't last, because then we had a gap after that. Because that shit wasn't even feasible.
No, we can't do. We're not. I think the episodes were fine, but this is our bread and butter, and this is what we like doing. And there's people like I was telling you, fucking Howard Stern is still deathly afraid to get in the fucking studio and broadcast.
Bag of remotes. God, that is pathetic. It's pathetic.
And he's inhibiting a lot of his fucking staff. And there's so many people who are just comfortable and buying into.
He's scared of death.
Oh, yeah.
And just in general, I think.
Yes. And he's one of the ones buying into the webcam world. And this is okay. So, and now let me subject all my employees to it. And it seems okay at first. Again, there are benefits of being at home. I do a telehealth therapy. Mm-hmm. There's benefits to it. But then I can I don't try to lie to the guy, but it's like you can't make that connection. That's why
No.
our Zoom episodes were never as good, and his interviews, Howard's, are never as good because you can't make that connection.
Mm-hmm. And there's no substitute for in-person, human-to-human interaction. That's what the Dark Horse podcast hosts, those professors, those evolutionary biologists were talking about on an episode. I think it was Shapiro.
Was that Brett Weinstein in
Yes,
them?
Weinstein's. And that's what and they're super lib. And that's what they were saying. They were saying there's nothing that can substitute this, and we have to find a way to go back. But they don't want us to go back.
I don't think a revolution is going to look like what the original American Revolution looked like.
No, that's like when they say a civil war. We're in a civil war now. It's just not with violence and weapons yet. You know what I mean?
It's like a civil Cold War.
Yeah.
Isn't that the definition of a Cold War? Was
Yeah.
nothing really happened? I'm trying to segue this into how we have to combat this, because we could sit here all day and fuck this and fuck that. And that's the part I think where you and I agree. It's like it's getting old and uninteresting is just sitting back and allowing this to happen. When there is action we can be taken. This is our action.
Yeah, I mean, adding to the voices of pushback is one way, is what this is. It's just two more voices out there in the interwebs that you can listen to that are against it. But I think, this is something we've talked about too, is just creating additional content beyond the format of this that can go against it too. What do you got?
Jesse Waters.
Oh, yeah, Jesse Waters.
Of Fox News fame. Didn't he get his start with Bill O'Reilly? Didn't he have a segment with Waters
World?
Waters World. I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
And what Waters World was...
He'd be out on the ground and...
confrontational.
Talking to people.
And here, this is him speaking at the Turning Point USA conference. What did they called it? Something I can't remember.
The AMF or no
I think it is the AMF
or AMP. I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know. Shout out to Turning Point.
No, that dude Charlie Kirk has built an army.
They came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember when he was popping up. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
So Jesse Waters was invited to speak at their event. Turning Point is a massive, largely conservative organization.
Largely targeted at college students, too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Which means largely a big portion of probably our audience. He was invited to speak, and he is, to make sense of what I'm trying to say, talking about the ways that we are able to combat this system without violence, without the need for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he cited somebody we love, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Brief synopsis for who they are. What would you say?
Oh, they're investigative journalist group.
Busting open, ambushing a lot of these. We've shown the CNN reporter that we showed last
Which
week.
Has caught traction with a ton of big prominent names being like, what's the deal, CNN? Why aren't you explaining yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They investigative journalism, guerrilla journalism, really, they get up in there. So, okay, I know I'm talking a lot. Here is what he had to say in regards to using investigative journalism to combat
the propaganda.
Now you're going for the kill shot. The kill shot with an ambush, deadly, because he doesn't see it coming. This is when you say, Dr. Fauci, you funded risky research at a sloppy Chinese lab, the same lab that sprung this pandemic on the world. You know why people don't trust you, don't you? Boom! He is dead! He is dead! He's done. Now, how you do that? 30 seconds. That's all you need. 30 seconds. Now, you get that footage to us. You get it to Fox. You get it to Human Events. You get it to Breitbart. You get it to Daily Caller. You get it through the Turning Point pipeline. Imagine Tucker Carlson teases out of the A block. Coming up. Brave college student confronts Lord Fauci at dinner.
Lord Fauci.
Exclusive footage. Right back. Get us that. That's what we want. That changes the whole conversation of the country.
Yeah, Fauci next day hired a new team of security.
Did he really?
I'm just assuming. I mean, he probably did. He's probably like, shit. Fauci's also a dude who suggested that you can catch AIDS by standing next to someone.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a fucking douche.
He's been in this bullshit game, the bullshit misinformation health game for decades.
Yeah.
I remember going through when I was all obsessed with the dark web and you could go on WikiLeaks and there was the Hillary's email server and you could just search it.
I remember when you were like, yo.
To me, I thought I was like breaking the biggest dark news or story there was. I mean, it was public info, but there were so many emails of Fauci and Hillary Rodham Clinton kissing each other's ass. I mean, they might as well have been blowing each other. It was just the most, because she's got a cock. It was the most ass kissery I've ever seen in my life of just, oh, you are just such a great, and this is, I'm talking her original run for president in 2008.
Oh, yeah.
Emails as far back as then of him just, he's always just been ingratiated with them. And he looked at this COVID pandemic that if you're going to listen and believe Mr. Waters, which I tend to because there's facts behind Anthony Fauci funded that lab.
Well, it got
for gain of function research.
It's all but, you know, it's proven. He's just not going to get in trouble for it.
No, and
that's why Rand Paul had that bombshell line dropped the mic line when he said when Fauci in the Congress said, you know, frankly, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Something like, I don't know what you, and then, or something like, basically dismissed Rand Paul, and Rand Paul, just one last quip, just goes, yeah, we'll let history figure it out in the end, or something like that. And it was so epic, because he knows, we all know, that he did fund it.
Well, going back to Fauci and emails, the emails came out. I don't know who leaked them, if it was Veritas or a third party or just a rogue investigative journalist, of him admitting, you know what, the masks that most people wear, this is months and months ago, maybe last year, admitting that the masks were just not effective, but we're going to tell people to wear them out of just to make them feel better. And then when there was a massive mask shortage and we couldn't get them to people, oh, just tell them masks aren't that important. And then, oh, go back on it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if he came out with one opinion and he stuck to it. I can disagree with him. I can't hate on him that much for having an opinion that I disagree with. We can disagree and it would end there. What's despicable is the flip and the flop and the I'm going to do whatever I'm paid to do and paid to say.
Pretty much. And he's the highest paid dude up in Washington, from my understanding, too.
I'd love to dig more into...
And he's been around for decades.
Him
like, get
and
rid
the
of this
AIDS crisis.
Dude.
Google, Savants, Google Dr. Fauci and the AIDS crisis. There was shout out to the gay who strayed on Instagram, version 2, I think it is now, because they took down her page. She had posted something about it.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's got a lot of great things she posts. People's trust of this little fink still puzzles me to this day. There's people, I view him personally as a creepy looking man. He's got a creepy, just mouse-like way about him. The little Italian accent pisses me off. I love Italian people. I hate him.
Yeah, no, he's the worst, dude.
Seeing people, you know what? He's kind of handsome. I just trust him. Well, look, guess who else was kind of handsome and you trusted him? Andrew fucking Cuomo.
Yeah, I know, and except he's groping women. And then his little Fredo brother over there is coming to his defense.
Yeah, well,
breaking journalistic code.
Fredo had a lot to juggle there with. He's helping his pedophile brother. He's
Faking a COVID crisis in his basement.
Pedophile producer.
Wanting to beat up that dude on the bike who called him out.
He's got a lot on his plate, so you need
he's
to give him
he's a roid rager.
Oh, yeah. He posted, Rogan figured it out, but not, it's one of those, like, everybody knows it, but he'll never admit it. He posted that, Chris Cuomo posted a picture of him with like 100-pound dumbbell, and Rogan got bodybuilders in there, a picture, not a video. Bodybuilders, strength men, strength coaches, and one of them came in and was like, at the physical angle he's holding it at, I couldn't do it because your T5 ligament or something would snap, especially under that weight. It was a dummy weight. I'm like, how fragile is your ego that you have to post to Instagram as a news person? You're not a fucking bodybuilder. Bodybuilders do the fake weight thing. I can halfway understand.
He's a news person, so he can be a celebrity.
That's all he.
That's it.
He's
really.
not a news person.
No, he's not. He's a propaganda pusher. Him and Don Lemon.
Don Lemon and Anthony Fauci.
Dude, Fauci is... Whenever I see his clips now, I'm like, let's see what this clown has to say. And he's sitting there with his little background, and he says, you know, Julie, I really don't want to give a number right now. All I can tell you is that get vaccinated, and if you're eligible, get your booster so you could enjoy the holidays with your family. I really don't recommend you spending time with people in your family who haven't been vaccinated because the risks are just too high.
Ostracize them. Get them out.
Remember when President Obama was in and Saul Alinsky was the big talk?
Saul Alinsky, yes.
Saul Alinsky, which was the community organizer, Marxist from Chicago, who, you know, had some time, who apparently, according to Dinesh D'Souza, was mentors of Clinton and Obama. It is still, to this day, tactics from that book, Rules for Radicals, being used constantly. That's one of their methods, is they ridicule the opposition. That's why they talk so poorly about people who won't get vaccinated. It's like we're disgusting humans. I mean, it's borderline getting, you know, we don't want to go, I don't want to, you know, talk about a little something that happened in Europe once upon a time, but they're starting to, you know, in a way, they're treating us
like second-class citizens.
They are. I mean, and like in that clip, for the vaccinated, you guys, you get a gold star.
Good boy. Good
dog. And you can go and eat a turkey with your family. First of all, you dirty little cocksuckers. You do not have any remote authority to tell anyone in this fucking country whether or not they can go to their grandma, uncle's, aunt's house. And if they listen to you, they're pathetic and they're weak-minded. Because I can tell you right now, there is not an ounce of shit that could come out of their mouths that would make me go, the White House said I need to get a shot. I should probably reconsider if I go over to Aunt Sally's this month for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Go fuck yourself. How about that one? That's all I have to say. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me that how stupid do they think we are? How dumb do these people think we are? Who's taking them serious still? I want to know. Like, I need people to come forward and be like, I listen to everything Fauci and Biden say when it comes to the Omicron and COVID crisis. I listen to their every move. If they tell me when I can go to Christmas, I go. When they tell me I can't, I don't go. When they tell me to get the 5th shot, I get it. I dictate my life to the overlords that be. Who are these people? Who is listening to these people?
I don't know. Enough to where I guess it makes some kind of difference, or are they just continually pushing this, silently panicking in the background of like, the people are fucking revolting, dude. Keep pushing, keep pushing.
That's what I think they're doing. I think they're tripling, quadrupling, quintupling down on this bitch.
Quintupling.
They are not gonna. Oh, speaking of, did you see Raggedy Ann in the press briefing room the other day? She's packing up her shit, getting ready to leave, putting on her little mask, and someone goes, hey, he asked a question about, I forget what the fucking question is, but that's not what's important. She basically was saying he takes questions all the time, and she's like trying to like get out of there and run.
Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, and he's just like, but will he be taking questions? And then she goes, on her way out, she goes, it depends on what you ask. Said the quiet part out loud.
Ooh.
Because
So,
scripted, pre-planned questions are much preferred for this fool.
When you initially said that, my devil's advocate brain went off, and Trump was one to just not answer what he didn't want. But to say Trump was ever scripted,
That's what I'm saying.
is idiotic, because the man never has followed a speech in his goddamn life.
Well, speaking of scripted, the fake White House set that Corn Pop's homie keeps speaking from?
Yes.
Did you see the latest one where in the background he's got the cargo ships in the window?
No. What?
I'm telling you, it's like subconscious, like they're trying to like get us with symbolism. It's almost like because he was getting reamed for the ships and everything, and it's almost like, what do we put in the window to make it look like he's fixed it or something? They're like cargo ships.
That's what you see outside of the White House.
That's what I'm like. What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. These people are lunatics. They're psychotic.
But
They're not though. They're just evil.
and there's a part of them that has to truly believe
It's all bullshit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but
Of
anyway,
course.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
that this is going to work. It's bullshit, but I mean, they wouldn't do it if they didn't think a certain percentage of the population's really going to buy it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they have people. They have. You're right. They have to have some drones who are completely. I mean, shoot. Here's one right here. This is nuts right here. I was, on the cesspool that we call Twitter, and this was a real tweet. I couldn't even believe that this was real. Look at this picture. It's a woman.
Yeah, I saw that picture with probably a different caption.
Yeah, I don't even know if this is Dana, not Scully. I'm flying today, but I'm not fucking around with Omicron. Check. Pfizer ×3. Check. Negative rapid test. Check. Natural immunity. Check. N95 sealed to my face with surgical tape. Check. Secondary mask for displaying opinions. Check. Face shield. Check. Vinyl gloves. Check. Touchscreen gloves. Check. Shit ton of Xanax. I don't even know if this is real. It would be funnier if this was someone making fun of these people. But if this is real, I can't even tell anymore.
Right.
Because people are this nuts.
They're becoming the meme.
They are the meme. And I've seen, my other favorite one is where it shows people like this. And it's like, people completely decked out and all this shit. And then it shows people at Christmas, like by a Christmas tree. And it's like conspiracy theorists, regular people. That's literally what they are. They are the memes now. They are the memes. Like the wise guy meme. I love that one.
And well, they've just the comment I saw for that one was she'd be a ton of fun at strip poker.
It would take forever. She'd win because she had too much shit to take off.
They are becoming the meme. They are completely lacking in self-awareness.
They're out of touch with reality.
And what must it be like for somebody, a woke person, to finally wake up? And it's almost like you've been in this
psychosis.
And you're just standing here and you're draped in masks and what the fuck have I been doing?
That's how I feel like it's going to happen for a lot of people. They're going to be like, it's almost like a spell because they're under a spell.
Or do they wake up, have that moment, and then think, I'm so deep in this, there's no way I can turn back now.
That's
I have to keep going.
I think that's part of it. And I think a lot of the acting people that I was with, I feel like that's a lot of them. I feel like at this point, because they're doing it for the sake of the career, a lot of them. And because if they're quiet, but like they cannot, like I won't say any names, but I've seen some posts of a place I used to partake in. And they're still like, if you haven't gotten your booster, it's running rampant. And I'm like, y'all are still in this, man. And but in my mind, they're just they have to know it's like bullshit. At a certain point, like you have to move on. And
running rampant.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, let's talk about, is it killing everyone? Because as far as I know, it's a little bit of the sniffles. with Omicron. But like you said, they think that's exactly what it is. They sit there and they go, we're too far in. We can't turn back.
I'll look like an asshole.
Yeah, we're going to have to quadruple down on this shit.
When we really should be giving the utmost respect to people who were a part of that world and make that turnaround. I'd love to have somebody, a reformed, woke person on the pod and talk to them.
Yeah, they're called disaffected liberals.
I didn't know there was a term for it.
That's where like they just don't identify with that anymore. And they're like, I don't know where to go because I'm not like a conservative really, but I'm not with them anymore.
Yeah.
They have no home. They have no home. I would love to get, and there's some where people are like, dude, this is crazy. Because now the sane side is so much more diverse.
Right.
Because people are like, I don't know where to go. And that's why it's not even like a party thing anymore. It's just, are you insane or are you not? You know? Like, are you a decent human being at this point? Or are you under a spell? Are you not psychotic?
I'm automatically skeptical of anybody who strongly affiliates with any one party.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always going to look at you with side eyes until I talk to you and really get to know you. Because such fuckery comes from both sides. And the only thing that's really pissing me off and has me labeled a conservative so much is like on Reddit and online. Conservatives are still just so silenced and railed against that I'm sitting here like, well, hey guys, the left is doing this too. I'm not saying conservatives aren't doing what you're saying they're doing, but you're making the left look spotless, and they're not. There was a perfect, I'll put it on the screen and I'll show it to you, a perfect example, and it's a halfway touchy subject, but somebody on Reddit posted, what's something that's not a cult but feels like a cult? One person put Islam, negative 236 downvotes. Right
Jeez.
below them, Christianity, 485 upvotes. I'm like, but why can't we just objectively look and be like, yeah, they both are kind of culty?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, the one religion that needs the most reforming, unfortunately, is Islam.
Well, yeah, when you're throwing gay people off of windows
And chopping hands.
and forcing your women to cover up.
But I will say this, with all the stealing going on in all these big cities, maybe we should bring some Sharia law into this motherfucker.
Hey,
Now I see why they did it.
start with we can go like just the fingers.
Just the tips.
Just the tip.
You won't be able to grab that goodies.
What's going on? The looting.
It's because they're releasing criminals.
Oh,
Yeah, and then you know the George Soros prosecutors?
no, I don't know about that.
George Soros has got a lot of money.
I know about George Soros.
Yeah, no, I know. What I was going to say was,
No.
I didn't deny your knowledge of the man.
Soros.
Let me finish the sentence. George Soros has a lot of money invested
Okay, you
into
can finish.
I'm going to let you finish. Into the legal system. He's bought off a lot of prosecutors in a lot of major cities. Orlando's a lucky one. We have one of his prosecutors. DeSantis took a case from that person to avoid whatever prosecution outcome would have happened. He talks about it on I'll send you the interview. So anyway, these fuckers are just letting them go for petty crime. That's why, or for not petty crime, but like, you know, pretty intense misdemeanors. That's why in California, I think you can steal up to like $900 retail and you won't really get in that much trouble at all. You won't go to jail. That's why I don't know if this is true, but I saw a picture of a guy who made all his prices like $999. So if anyone's stolen, they get prosecuted, and then he's got coupons at the front so the price can go back to normal or something.
That's it. That sounds true, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
And it's just wild. But they want chaos because chaos will lead to, like, you need to do something and, lock it down. Like, they want it to be chaotic. And they're, you know, it goes back to you call it conspiracy, call it whatever you want. In my opinion, I didn't make this up, but conspiracies are just previews, or how does that phrase go?
I don't know.
Conspiracies are just truth, conspiracies are the truth 2 months later or something.
Okay, I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah, they want it to burn. You know, they want this place to burn, so the one thing that can step in and ensue stability again is the government.
That's why they let the Chad zone in Seattle happen.
Mm-hmm.
And in Portland, I think they had one. I might be mixing them up. Chad might have
That
been
was
in Portland.
nuts. I can't even believe that happened. Chaz
Bono.
Like they literally had like a occupied area.
And
It's wild when you really think about it.
Yeah, and cops stood completely down.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him in.
A lot like the 6th,
Oh, I know.
the Rye.
That's a tricky one to talk about too. They let those fuckers right in.
I saw the videos.
I know. They literally were like, open the gate.
They want to spin it like, oh yeah, a bunch of white people. They're not going to go against them. It's like, it's not even that one. It's not even that. It was just like, come on in.
Yeah.
Pelosi's office down the hall. Not that right.
Here, don't
Next
forget your
one.
map. Don't forget your maps.
And obviously you get, I'm not condoning what they did. That was an idiotic thing to do, was go in the Capitol building without permission. Yeah. But you get a massive group of people. You see some dude in a fucking raccoon hat. He's like, let's go. If I'm standing there, I might be like, oh, fuck, okay. Mob mentality. We've talked about it.
I told you, like when I was in Orlando, you know, it's a very real thing.
The creepiest part about all the looting, they're not even going for these essential things. It's not like, oh, my kids are starving. Let me go get some milk and eggs and groceries. They're going in the Louis Vuitton store.
Yeah, they're reselling all this
purses.
Shit. It's materialistic items that they're getting. And I love when Saki spins it when they ask her, like, do you think this is, you know, a result of the relaxing crime decisions in these cities? And she goes, we think it's a result of the impact COVID had. It's like, so they're stealing Louis? Yeah. Louis and Gucci?
If they can't blame COVID, they'll blame climate change. They'll
blame something.
They'll find a scapegoat. But I think all of this could go away if we all just give in and move into the metaverse.
Right. Did you see?
Zach, first of all, I barely understand Bitcoin. I still don't understand NFTs. And now I'm hearing about the metaverse. What the fuck is the metaverse?
It's just a virtual world, I guess. I don't need
like a video game?
No, to be fair, I don't really know too much about it either. I just know that Zuckerberg changed the whole umbrella company of Facebook. Now it's Meta.
Okay, yeah, that pops up on Instagram.
Yep, Meta. And the metaverse. The only thing I've been seeing that you can do is you can buy land, virtual land.
Okay.
All right.
I'm following so far.
And because I'm resisting it. Like, I'm anti.
I don't want to go in the metaverse.
No, I think, like, why would I want to leave the physical realm and enjoy my actual life to go live in to virtual? Like, it's no.
Well, we're going to make the physical world such hell that you'll have no choice.
That's essentially it. And so you can buy land, right? So then this NFT thing's kicking off. Gary V, you know, he was like, you need to buy Ethereum because these NFTs are going to be fucking sick. So
good Gary V impression.
So
energy.
He's propping up NFTs. I'm not saying he's like a conspiracy or cabal with this or anything, but
Gary V's onto whatever trend.
Yeah, and he's always ahead.
Mm-hmm. And rich as shit.
NFTs took off. And as far as I know, an NFT is just the original of a digital file. It's like the original digital file of something. So like if you make a meme, you can sell the meme as an NFT, but any copies are not the NFT. So you can buy the original. It's like, I think it's like a art, digital art. So
that's the best way someone's explained it to me.
Yeah, that's the best way I'm understanding it. So like an ESPN sports clip can be an NFT. Okay. The original clip or some shit coded into the internet. Like that one.
So that is a way for content creators to avoid other people reposting and profiting off their shit.
Correct.
Okay.
In a way. So it's like protecting digital artists, in a way. But what's happening is people are buying them and they're making NFT museums in the metaverse. And if you look it up, you can find some people that are, this is my NFT museum. And I have all my NFTs on display. And getting super giddy and excited about it. And I'm just like, dude, this is weirding me the fuck out. Like this is the shit that's gonna lead to brain in a vat type existence. Because eventually this is gonna grow, it's gonna get more popular. And our generation is, I would say over half are very invested in technology. We just made it out to where we could experience some childhood without too much inundated screen time. But like Gen X, Z,
It would be Z.
Z. Gen X is above us, and then there's boomers. Gen Z, they're attached to their phones. They're TikToking. They're living like we're attached to our phones too, in a way.
It's a different level.
It's a different level, and it's not the same. Like my brother and sister, they will tell me shit. They're like, "Oh yeah, you just do this on Snap." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
We're old.
I mean, I'm addicted to scrolling at some points. Yes, they're on a different level. Some people that are bound to their phones like that, the metaverse is going to be more appealing than real life because they're already living a fake life through social media and different things like that. If they get the filters, you can look better on social media. I mean, everything can be better. So the metaverse is just going to make that more appealing, and people are willingly going to want to spend more time there than in real life, I feel like.
Well, yeah, and especially if their real life is shit, whether the government made it that way or many other factors, of course they're going to opt to that. Somebody who's 500 pounds, lost a genetic lottery, and is just not attractive, doesn't have much going for him, can go be a king in the metaverse.
Yeah.
And we see that that's been happening with World of Warcraft. People get lost. I had an uncle who was just lost in World of Warcraft. Like that was his other world. There was literally the game Second Life. Remember that?
I don't remember that one.
It was pretty popular when we were growing up, probably around our middle to high school years. Second Life was like The Sims, but it was just a massive universe where you could build your house and everything, and people were cheating on their wives and then going and like marrying their Second Life partner that they met in there. People had literal second lives in this game, Second Life, where
that's so weird.
We've got a family. Now, I want to know, is the metaverse gonna look like that? Is it like first person, like Call of Duty, where you can see your hands, but you don't see anything else?
It might be. I don't know enough yet.
It sounds like a video game.
Well, you have to look up the video. It's making fun of it, where it's Mark Zuckerberg, and he's like, Mark Zuckerberg wants to share his sweet baby rays.
Oh.
Nod if you want to accept. And it looked like it was first person. I don't know if that's actually the metaverse, but I think it's a joke. But I don't know. I think it's first person. I don't know if you can see hands, because I was looking at a clip of him showing the NFT museum. It doesn't look real though. It doesn't look realistic. The NFT kind of does, but like the little fucking makeshift museum that the dude created, it looks like a fucking video game,
like Minecraft.
Yeah,
it's
or something
blocky.
Yeah, it's kind of blocky.
Well,
I'm like I said, I'm resisting it, so I didn't like dive too deep. I just know that it's gaining traction here.
Yeah, and I mean, you must be able to see your hands, because there's been some things going on in the metaverse.
That's right.
So what's the joy of groping somebody in the metaverse if you can't see your hands doing it?
Dude, it took an all of 1 month for a case to already happen?
I used to play RuneScape.
I remember RuneScape.
Shout out to anyone who played RuneScape. And what you would, I mean, all the time, you can't make your characters really do anything to people, but you would walk up to somebody and be like, and you'd put it in the little asterisk, grabs ass. Is that groping in the metaverse? Caresses your hair slightly.
Oh my God.
Politely declines. Pushes for more. Like, what? Are we typing this out? I don't get it.
Could you imagine being in courts? So...
Defendant grabs ass.
It says on the transcript here.
You virtually grabbed that woman's ass.
Virtually grabbed ass. Zuckerberg. Dude, you have rights in the metaverse. Like, I don't even know. Like, I can't even. This is just too ridiculous.
Well, then what's the fun of a different world if you can't get a little
it's like
crazy
Grand
with
Theft
it?
Auto,
right?
Where you just wreaking havoc in that world.
But you're gonna get people. Are there gonna be metaverse school shooters?
That's what I mean. Like, do you ever get mad at someone and be like, you know what? You really pissed me off today. I'm gonna go kill you in the metaverse so I can get it out.
No. Come on, dude. Let's type about it.
That would suck though if you could somehow feel the sensations and like, and then you rip off the virtual reality, like, oh God.
You know what they're gonna do?
It's like Black Mirror, where the best friends were like banging.
San Quintanino or something it was called, or it had a weird California.
But they played the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Mackie, you remember that one? Yeah. It was a fighting game, and the characters he picked, it was like a woman, and he picked a dude, and she had like but it was like super real. Like they were like, passed out, and they were like fighting or doing whatever in the game, and then like they used it to like cheat on their marriages, but it was them, two dudes, but one was a woman and one was the dude. It's a trippy fucking episode.
I know the one you're talking about where at the very end, spoiler alert, they tell her like you can either go be with your family and die a normal human or go live in San Bernardino, whatever it's called, forever happy with your mate.
Is that was the one with the chick who was in the club?
The two girls.
Yeah, that's right.
It was at the time I was like, oh, this is compelling. Oh, this is going to happen. And now I'm sitting here like, oh shit.
It's happening.
Yes, it's going on right now.
Yeah, like Black Mirror is here.
So are they going to have to go to court in the metaverse, or are they going to court in real life?
Imagine, everyone put your headsets on, please.
Internet court. Ding,
it's
ding.
like it's like a glitching block.
Fucking Atari looking. Guilty.
Gets taken away in cuffs, takes the headset off. Woo!
Shit.
All right, so you're convicted. You have no free time in the metaverse for the next 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess jail would be like they ban you from the metaverse, or then do you go get to be in the jail world?
It would probably they're gonna get them so not us because I'm not. They're gonna get them so addicted that they're gonna be like, God, I gotta get back in the metaverse because they've been in the metaverse so many times a day. So, but they're in a cell for like 2 years. So every time they put it on, they're like, this is miserable. When they could just take it off, but they're tricked that they're in prison, but in the metaverse.
You just sit there and you clank the bars with the cup. Shut up, inmate. Shut up, inmate.
Exactly, but their addiction needed it. So but when all reality, you could just take it off and don't even go in the metaverse.
The reason I stopped playing video games was because of playing The Sims, and my sim like won the lottery and became president and was banging the hottest sim in town. And I remember like logging off and looking around like, none of that matters here. You didn't do anything. I wanted to like go tell somebody about my sim in Simoleon. Hello, beep boop. There's a fascinating video on, I thought The Sims just talk gibberish, but it's like Simoleon, I think it is. It's like an actual language.
Oh, they have a language?
Hey ho. And then when they got to pee, they're like, hello.
Dude, The Sims was creepy.
One of the first times I ever jerked off, they blur you when you get in and out of the shower. There was a glitch where the blur was off, so I just saw these round orbs. No nipples, just fleshy.
Just these domes.
And it turned me on. This sim
like 10?
woman getting out of this. Yeah, probably.
Sim woman.
And the next, what did I say? It was Easter morning. It was the first time I ever looked at porn, so it could have been shortly before that. He is risen. I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all the Savants.
This is a gift to you. We met up the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and I got in a fucking car wreck.
Don't feel bad. I got in one like 6 months ago.
I know. Yeah, but now the money and paying another fucker, and she's like, my neck. I don't know what to do.
Let's start a Patreon.
What else was on our little agenda? I'm happy with what we covered.
Yeah, I mean,
Tim
Pool's freak out,
R.A. For those who didn't see,
no, I'm not that guy.
I don't want to smack my microphone. He smacked that thing hard.
Well, that's the one thing I wanted to say. So I saw some people like, oh man, Tim Pool's got to get better writers. I'm watching that. I'm like, bro, what point do you make a fake script and then tell him, be like, all right, so I want you to take my really expensive microphone and podcast arm and slam it.
Yeah.
It's either that or he's so good an actor, he got too into it, which I don't think that's the case either.
No, that dude's for real, like New
Freaked
York,
out.
Brooklyn, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, don't fuck with me. He goes, I'm not that guy. And then he was, whatever he was saying. So you're saying my decades of work don't matter? He goes, no, they don't matter. He goes, you are that guy. Tim Pool's saying that was so funny.
Tim Pool's got a set of balls on him.
Bro, I mean, he was like, no, you are that guy. And that dude fucking threw the...
What's up, bitch? He got...
Dude, he even said, he goes, you want to get fucked up?
He
said that. I heard that. I caught that. I'm like, dude, he just threatened to fuck him up.
He got street real quick. Well, one thing I was watching...
You don't disrespect me. Been like, bro, you just disrespected my entire life's work.
Yeah. That Jack Murphy, who I want to say something about in a second, was on Slightly Offensive with your boy and your girl, Elijah Schaefer and Sydney Watson. And they were analyzing the scuffle because Jack Murphy is a regular on the Timcast. And he was saying there are tons of weapons around that set.
I heard that.
There's swords, there's knives, there's guns. So if
Well,
anything,
Tim Pool lives in a compound, from what I understand. I've watched a couple of his videos where he's skateboarding outside. His house is fucking huge.
I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
As a creator, because he went from like us to stratosphere, all because of Rogan, and because the episode with the Twitter CEO where
Jack Dorsey,
he didn't back down, and he like I said, Tim Pool's got a set of balls on him. But and we can end with this. Speaking of that fucking Jack Murphy guy.
Oh yeah, he's a.
They just talked about that fight on Tim Pool on this other podcast,
And then in the same one, he freaks out.
Explain what happened.
Well, they're reading the super chats at the end because that
What
takes
is a super chat?
Oh, it's where the people can pay to get their what live chat read.
Okay,
on
like
the show.
They do that on Twitch. I
Yeah,
don't know if
it's-
they do. I'm saying Twitch, you can pay money and it'll say whatever you
At
want.
least I think so. I don't know. Someone can correct me. What a super chat? They call them
think-
super chats.
I
I don't
think
even
you're
know
right.
if that's what it's called on YouTube. Whatever. But they read live comments so they're flooding in. And Watson, she read one, and it was talking about some article. Clear up the article about being a cuck. I don't even know because I don't know the background of this dude at all. I never even heard of him.
He's this bald guy with
Long hair and beard,
no hair, bald.
or long long beard. Only.
That's two-toned. He said that's natural too. He's got
There's no fucking way.
a
Is
long
it?
goat. I'll put the picture.
It's black.
It's like black,
And
really
then long
dark brown,
gray.
and then all gray on the sides. Apparently, it's natural.
Well,
It's perfectly
it's salt and pepper, baby.
That's all heavy on the salt and pepper there.
It's each container.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least mix them in a little bit.
So anyway, she just said she's reading the comments blindly. She just going in and reading them. They have to go through it. They go through a lot of them. They like a third of the show is this.
Yeah.
And he freaks out. He freaks out and says, F you for doing that, for doing this to me. He goes, F you, hard felt, whatever the fuck that means. And I'm just like, dude, can you not control your emotions when you're the guest on someone else's show? They're doing the part of their show.
It got uncomfortable. The
It
look in her
did.
poor eyes, she's like, what do I do here? She handled it good.
I know. I wish Schaefer would have said something. Be like, hey, could you not talk to her that way?
Yeah, that's not his girl, but I mean,
It's
that's
his co-host.
Yeah, there's a kinship there.
I mean, like, you're a dude. Like, you can handle yourself. I could handle myself if that was a situation.
But still, if somebody
And
did
I'm
that,
sure, and that's not even to be a sexist way, but like, after her reaction, I would have said something. If she would have been like, no, fuck you, calm down, whatever. But like,
I think she had no clue what to do.
yeah, but she did well. She just
Yeah.
kept going. But yeah, dude, at that moment, I'm like, dude, you just lost all credibility. You're soft, bro. Just
Yeah.
freaking out.
And you
like,
know what?
I'm sorry, that's your past. People are gonna talk about it, dude. Like, be ready to answer to things.
That could have went one of two ways. He could have been like, oh, that fucking article, that thing haunts me. You know what? That's bullshit. You know what people print, this and that. All right, whatever, moving on.
Or just be like, I'd rather not. Let's
Yeah.
go to the next one.
But freaking out like that, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, fuck you.
Heartfelt.
Fuck you. You know what was so funny? You said, F you. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know why I decided to censor myself in that moment.
You're doing good. Someone told us we need to cuss less. Donna Marie, one of our super fans.
Did she really?
Not because of her personal taste, because she wants to see YouTube promote us more, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, because they won't.
No.
Well, that's why I think I did better this episode.
I don't know. We'll have to watch it back.
I've been conscious of it the whole time because the last one was heavy.
Yeah, and
But I was having fun though. Like the more like I'm loosey goosey, like they tend to be coming out. But I think this time, I think this one was pretty good.
fuck right. We did. we hit.
You don't call me a container of nature's condiments.
Whatever that means.
I can't even say what I wanted to say because I'm like, oh, I know what he said.
Well,
Just bleep that too.
I don't care.
This will be funny. All right.
Guessing game. Join our Patreon that isn't existent.
Maybe for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We went an hour and 18. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right. I'm fucking out of here. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man. I think we're going to have one more before the year's over.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Either way, it's all right. Peace.
Peace.